Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. My name is Joe. Today I'm going to be looking at a brand new game. It is a print and play game. It is from Verillion Games, designed by Kevin Bayer. It is called Flight Command, and it is a solitaire game of abstract air combat. So, quick confession here before we get started. I am not really a crafty guy. So since this is a print and play, I elected to actually build it in Tabletop Simulator. So we'll be looking at it in Tabletop Simulator, but all the pieces are directly created from the PDF files that Kevin so graciously provided for me to take a look at the game. So you will be seeing basically how the game works and what the pieces look like, although obviously it's not going to be the physical components because, as I said, I am not crafty at all. So without further ado, let's load up Tabletop Simulator and take a look at the game. Okay, so here you see the Tabletop Simulator version of this. So I did include most things. There are several campaigns. There are several maps. I only set up here Easy Campaign and Map 1A just to kind of keep things simple for this play example. And so the background for this game as provided in the rulebook is that Flight Command is an abstract air combat game between two fictional opponents. The Blue Republic is widely known for its advancement in technology, with their weapons and machines being some of the most advanced in the world. This has allowed the Blue Republic to be a dominant force in the world for many years, with their technology giving them an edge in many battles. On the other hand, the Red Empire has always had superior numbers, with their Army, Navy, and Air Forces outmatching those of the Blue Republic by far. However, despite this, they have never been able to stand up to the Blue Republic's technological superiority. With tensions rising between the two nations, the Red Empire declared war on the Blue Republic. The world watches as the two forces collide, with many predicting that it will be a battle of technology versus numbers. Okay, so let's take a look here at what we've got. So let me zoom in some. So here's our easy campaign. So we have a campaign card with point tracker. There are several charts on here that you will use to roll for your squadron size, for example, the number of points you get, campaign costs. Then you will set up for your missions. This is a player aid. You can have 6 different forces. The aircraft in the game are broken down into 3 types: your fighters, your strikers, your bombers. So basically the way the game works is you send your flights out, and the fighters will try to gain air superiority against the Red Empire's fighters, obviously. And then the strikers will basically, they do like anti-air defense, anti-defense kind of strikes to take out, the surface-to-air missiles and things like that. So they will be taking on air defenses, essentially. And assuming both of those are successful, the bombers will go in and they will actually strike the target. So you have 3 different types of aircraft, and you have to kind of include all of them in your mission, because if you don't achieve steps A or B, air superiority and suppression of the enemy air defenses, your bombers will not be able to complete their mission and you'll fail. So, having said that, here we have a map. And to me, this is one of the cooler things in this game as I've gone through it and messed around a little bit, is you have your initial point, and then it's almost like a flow chart, and you go in and you're going to draw basically defenses and so on and targets within these boxes. And so you're going to choose your path and go down. And then once you hit 8 here, you'll have the option of going for 6 or 7 or 5. And then each of those will provide you a path to other things. So you do have some planning involved there. And, basically you have to kind of adjust to the situation, because you don't know where everything is going to be and what you're going to face and how things are going to go, because a lot of it is dependent upon die rolls and so on. We have a player aid here for combat. So, when you are fighting, you'll be able to use this to kind of help keep track of everything, because your squadrons can be fairly large and you'll have a lot of counters around and doing things with them and so forth. So we do have random events here. As you can see, they would be drawn out of a cup as chits, etc., which is also how you'll draw targets and your threats and everything else, including your own aircraft. But we'll get to that in a moment. So you'll pull a chit, it'll give you the event, and then you can read the description of what it does. Here, sequence of play, obviously important. So this will tell you how the game progresses, where you choose your campaign, you roll for your squadron size, roll for how many campaign points you have, create your squadron, roll for targets, etc., etc., etc. There are elements of this that remind me of the DVG Leader series, especially since I've been playing Stuka Leader over the last couple weeks here. So that's fresh in my mind, and I see similarities here. But this is a very different game in a lot of ways. One of which is there are no cards. Obviously, in Stuka Leader, you have cards for your pilots, and they promote and all that stuff. None of that exists in this game. This is a little bit more stripped down, straightforward kind of thing here. So here are some of our counters. So I made some dice. It uses 10-sided dice. I made 6 of them. We have a campaign point tracker. There's a turn tracker over here. And then, as I mentioned, we have our markers for the flights that we'll be able to use on here to tell us where all of our flights are. These are targets. If I flip them over, you can see that this one is a bridge. Then over here we have mobile command, we have trucks, supply depots, and you see you have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 4 are the most difficult. So here we have a major airfield. These numbers at the bottom indicate how you destroy them. You need to roll that number or greater. And so to destroy this major airfield, which will have 6 defensive elements, basically, to get through, you also have to hit on all of these. You'll have to score 5 hits. So you'll have to roll an 8 or greater twice, then a 7, a 6, and a 6. So this one is obviously difficult. The most difficult target in the game is this major airfield. Not that these other level 4 ones are easy, because they are not. But there you have those. The threats, you have your air superiority. So these are the enemy fighters. You get different levels. These are the air defenses. So your fighters will take on these guys. Your strikers will take on these guys. Whoops. And so you have various levels of those as well. So here are our top level air superiority enemy fighters, essentially, that need 2 hits, one 8 or over and another 7 or over. So again, difficult to do. We have, counters for failures and successes. These hold the threats. They're empty right now, because when you roll one of the things you'll roll here at the top, I think it's here, yeah. You have threat types and target types. So you roll your die. It gets a little shady looking there if you zoom in too much. But you can see here, if you roll a 1, you get a type 2 target, 2 to 9. You get a type 1 and 2. I should have removed this. I'm going to delete this because it's annoying me. So now when I hover over it, we're not going to see a tooltip. So you roll your die. What you get will tell you what type of targets to throw in the bag, and then you pull them out. So since this is the easy campaign, all of these are going to be type 1 and 2, basically. We're not going to see any of the tough ones in the early going. So these 2 bags, here's your target bag, here's your threat bag. Recovery, basically when you take damage or, just have... Basically, you have to recover. Your aircraft and your pilots need to recover between missions. You can use your command points to purchase upgrades that you can use to... obviously, you get a bonus 1 on your die roll. You can re-roll a die. These are 4. You can roll 4 dice for an attack. One will be air support for your fighters, and the cruise missiles are for your strikers. Down here, I have my fighters. So here are I have fighter bag, I have a striker bag, I have a bomber bag, and I have my event bag down here at the bottom. So if I wanted to Draw one out. We can see what we got. We got basically this is a level 2 fighter. So you can see this is a DRM. He gets a +2 on his die roll. So that is how that works. Same thing with a striker. If we draw a striker out, we get, oh, that's a good one. That's the top level. That's a 4. And then if we drew out a bomber, and we got a great bomber too. So those are good. Those are really good draws. I mean, this guy, obviously, he's a 2. The 2s and the 3s are the most common. The 1s and the 4s are the least common. But there are plenty of each. And as I said, you can have 26 total aircraft. Or, well, you roll for the squadron size as well. So if we go back up to the top, you have your squadron size right here. So most of the time, because it's 2 to 9, you'll get 26. That's why I said that. With a 1, you get a 24 squadron size, and with a 10, you get a 28 squadron size. You get campaign points that you can spend on new aircraft. You can spend them to repair your aircraft. You can buy a +1 to hit. Those counters that I just showed you. These guys right here. So that's pretty much how this game works. So that's going to do it for the first look video here. I will come back with a playthrough in the next few days or so. But in the meantime, if you would consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing, that would be greatly appreciated, as always. So for now, I'm signing off. This is Joe. You have been watching Hexed Encountered, and until next time, happy gaming.